get started. So, find a comfortable space on your mat or just on your floor, wherever that is. Take a nice deep breath, trap some air in that belly. We're gonna push those shoulders down and the feet into the ground. We're gonna start up with the neck. So I'm gonna start up my timer. We're going to do the warm up the way that we've been doing. So we're going to drop the neck, scrape the collarbone, drop the ear, come back to center, and look up at me. So we're trying to isolate the neck. This should feel good. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna pause at that stretch. We wanna make sure we feel a stretch right on the lengthening side and not a pinching on the closing end of the angle. We're gonna repeat the other side. So dropping the chin, scrape the collarbone, drop the ear, come back to me. Drop the chin, scrape the collarbone, drop the ear, come back to me. We're going over, dropping the ear, trying not to tilt over, staying as even as you can. Again, we want to feel the stretch on the lengthening side. We're going to go scapula, so those shoulder blades. Squeeze them together, elevate them, roll them forward, squeeze them back, lift them up, bring them forward, other way, forward, up, back and down, forward, up, back, and down. We're driving through the ground. We're gonna warm up those hips. I like being barefoot because I can grab onto the floor better. Toes are important, as we've learned. And then we're gonna externally and internally rotate. If you need to hold onto the wall, no big deal. We're trying to warm up the hips. Breathing, core's engaged. And we're driving up on the other side. So trying to get that foot, that leg to 90 degrees. Breathing, trying not to tilt over. Again, we're holding on if we need to. So moving from the hip, external and internal. One might be tighter than the other, totally normal. Grabbing some balance. Okay, we're coming down to the ground on all fours. This was the video that I posted to remind you of this workout. Segmenting the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Control, taking your time, exhale. Should feel good early in the morning here. Get everything moving. We're gonna freeze right here in the flexion, pushing away as big as you can. And then we continue that spinal segmentation. So think one at a time. And we're gonna pause right here. Full extension. Hands still under shoulders, knees still under hips. Okay, stretching back into a child's pose, reaching those arms long, feeling a lat stretch. Take a nice deep breath. We're gonna come back up and coming into shoulder extension. I like to go thumb up. Trying not to tilt. Again, we're staying square to the ground. Now we're rotating. I want your elbow pit to come towards me, but I want the motion to come from your shoulder. So then the wrist is away from your body, thumb goes up, and you're gonna wring that shoulder out, pushing into the ground. Let's go one more, reach it up, and freeze right there. Keep freezing, warming up those shoulders. And we're going shoulders again. Get them nice and warm. I want you to pause here, internal rotation and extension. So your wrist is away from you. Squeezing that shoulder blade back. It's coming back to a comfortable seat. Reach your arms long. Pushing your hips back. Take one breath. We're gonna come back onto all fours. I'm gonna turn around so you can see my other arm. And we're gonna go full extension. So we're holding right here, warming up the shoulder, making sure it's pulled away from your ear. Trying not to tilt the body. And again, we're gonna wring out that shoulder. So wrist faces you, thumb is up, pull it back. Motion is coming from the shoulder. Elbow pit away from your body. Let's freeze right here. Pull it back, thumbs up. All right, we're coming on up. We're gonna get to work those toes. So feet about shoulder distance, soft knees. You're gonna lift all your toes up and down 3 times. So we've got 1, 2, and now I want you to keep them all up off the ground. Try not to let the feet cave in, keep them nice and even. Now I want you to drop your babies. This is tough for me. Keep the babies up, drop the bigs. Drop them all, lift the babies. And then lift the bigs. Everything we do comes from the ground up, so this is super important. All right, we're gonna balance up and then lift the toes. So we're on the toes, we're on the heels, on the toes, on the heels. So moving through those ankles, full range, whatever full range is for you. And then we're gonna pause up at the top. You ready? Squeeze everything. Grab onto the floor. Make some fists, get some tension in your body. Almost there. All right. So I'm just going to change my timer here. So every exercise we do, we're going to stick with the same side and then we're gonna switch. So the first thing we're going to do are Spider-Man. So we're gonna stick with the same side. I'll coach you through. So we're gonna assume that high plank position. Taking that leg right next to the hand. Lengthening that back leg long. So we're gonna move it. Last one, now we're gonna stay right there and you're gonna freeze. So nice long spine, front foot is flat. You can press that knee open. Next, we're gonna move into a more dynamic movement, so different ranges of motion. So we're putting it back, you're coming to me, you're lifting your leg, spider. Put it back, rotate, lift your leg, spider. One more. Excellent. Okay, we've got to do the other side, so I'm going to turn around so you can see that. Don't worry, we'll come back to this, so if that was a shocker, you'll be able to figure it out next time. So we're going to assume that high plank position, hands on the shoulders, fully extended. Front foot, and bring it back. So the same combo. All right, we're freezing, we're holding, we're lengthening. You can open up that knee a little bit, make sure that whole foot in the front is down. And then we're coming into that multi-directional side plank to spider. So we're back, we're side, lift, bring it forward. You can always hold here the whole time if this is too much. Excellent. Okay, moving on. We're coming up to a single leg reach. I'll come on an angle here. So you're gonna plant one foot down, opposite leg is up, and we're gonna reach out and up. So we're grabbing onto the floor with our full foot, hinging at the hip, squeezing the glute. So we're in, and we're exhale, and then we're coming to our hold. Hands can be wherever. I'm gonna go airplane. So keep breathing, fire up your butt. All right, I'm going to lightly hold on for this next one. We're rotating one way, and then we're rotating the other way. So multi-directions. Okay, so shake that out. Of course, we're gonna have to do the other side. Let me know how you're doing. Good morning, everybody. So, same thing, same leg in a row. Grabbing on. Opposite hand comes up. And we're gonna reach. Hinging from that hip. Driving through the ground. Tap down if you need. Squeeze your bum. This is the tougher side for me, as you can all see. All right, we're coming into that hold. So, wherever the arms are for you, get a focal point. And then I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna lightly hold on to rotate toward my leg, rotate away. Toward it, and away. All right, we should have some warmth in those hips. Okay, we're coming down to bear position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Driving those toes into the ground. Engage the core by pushing through the ground. Slow and controlled. We're marching. So opposite hand, opposite foot. You can always just shoulder tap if the march is too much for you. And now we are holding. So freeze. Hold that belly tight. Keep holding. One more breath. Multi-direction. Come back to your bear. Thread the needle. Come back to your bear. Threading that leg through, releasing the opposite hand. We're coming on down. You can roll up your mat or you can use a pillow or a towel if you have. We're gonna go into a prone I. So, laying on your belly, forehead is down, heels together, thumbs are up, lift them up. Repeating up and down. Keep them squeezing. One more. You know what's coming next now? We're gonna freeze. So squeeze them up. Keep squeezing. Almost there, 3 seconds. We're going into multi-direction. So we're rotating. Elbows are up. And then your fists together, down, squeeze them, reach them out, start to rotate all the way till the thumbs are back up and down. All right. Next, we have a challenging position here. Hands are gonna rotate away from you, so your shoulders are externally rotated. This is gonna be a tough challenge for the wrist, so if you need to come down, that's fine. So, like that bear march, we're coming up, opposite hand, opposite foot, brace your core, drive through the ground, trying to stay as even as you can. Last 1 and 1. I want you to lift those hips all the way up. Now you can come up and down if you feel you need to, which is fine. Otherwise, we're gonna hold up here. Put some pressure in your full foot. Drive down through the ground. You can let your head go if you want. Come on down. We're gonna hover. We're gonna go lift up, reach, come on down, up, reach over your head, push through the floor, come down. Give me 1 more each side. Last one. That should feel good, different range of motion here. Okay, so next we're gonna come into frog. This is gonna be an uncomfortable position. So the knee and the ankle are in line. If you need some pillows, that's fine. I want you to shift your hips back. So rock them back, find your end range, but something that you can maintain because we're gonna hang out here. We're gonna do 40 seconds of a hold. So I want you to just breathe, let your hips sink into the ground. This is a toughie. We have not done the frog before. I mean, you might have, but on the Facebook Live. 1 more round of 20. Let it just start to sink in. And then we're gonna change direction. We're gonna keep the hips where they are, but we're gonna internally rotate. So that means we're gonna drive in, lift the foot up. We're gonna alternate sides. So, the movement comes from the hips. I'm extra tight this morning. So, if you need to come up, that's totally fine. You might have more power that way. Alrighty, excellent. Everything we did, we're gonna repeat 1 more time and then we're gonna be done. So now you know what to expect. We're gonna come back to that Spider-Man, sticking with one side, moving, holding, and then multi-direction. So that's the theme. So hands under shoulders, braced core, taking that foot, press that back leg long, and we're repeating. Breathing. I like to press the knee open, makes my hips feel a little bit better. Making sure the body stays as level as you can. And then here, we're gonna freeze. Fire up through that back heel. Front foot is flat, so try not to lift the heel. Shoulders away from those ears. Now we're gonna come into that complicated side plank position. So your option is to maintain the side plank like that. Otherwise we're lifting, we're rotating, slide it back. You either hold your side plank or you're coming with me for the ride. Lift, reach, and we're switching sides. I'll turn around so you can see. Give me a thumbs up if you like that one. Feels pretty good to move in a lot of different planes. All right, so back to that Spider-Man, just a regular Spider-Man other leg. Hands are under the shoulders, grab onto the floor. Here we go. Trying to get that foot all the way up next to your hand. Press that knee outward and drive that back heel long away from you. My hips are already feeling better. Mostly I think it was the frog. So we're staying right here. Front foot is flat, knee can be braced open, driving back through that heel. Nice deep breath. So again, your option is to hold the side plank or even down on the knee, that's fine. Otherwise you're coming up and back to the spider. Lift and reach. Last one. All right, time for some single leg balance. So choose whatever leg you want. We're gonna go opposite hand, and we're gonna reach long. Whoops. And then whatever you want to do with your arms. Finding a focal point. We're going to stay here and we're going to rotate. Open to me, open away. Open to me. Yep, everything comes open and open away. All right, we've got to do the other sides. Shake that foot out. I'm sweating a little bit here. I hope you are too. It's been really hot adjusting to the weather change, but it feels good. I'm excited about it. So, opposite hand, we're gonna reach and drive it up. Squeezing that butt, breathe in, and exhale. Now we're coming into our balance. Opening up. This side is tougher for me. You might have a side that's tougher for you. And then we're rotating. So open up to me, and then open up away. Big hip stretch. Rotating from those hips, last one. Excellent. All right, we're coming on down to that bear position. And we're gonna go into that march. So hands are under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tuck the toes in. And we're going opposite hand, opposite foot. nice and slow, little baby lifts. And we're holding. Just freeze, hold that belly tight. Take a nice deep breath. And we're gonna rotate, we're gonna sit out. Threading the needle with the leg. I like to tap with my heel. Come on back. Thread it through. Come on back. I like the way that this one feels. All right, we're coming on down. If you have that pillow or that towel, let me get this out of the way. We're gonna roll that up for the head. And we're going thumbs up, eye position, up and down. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Try to squeeze those heels. And we're freezing. Hold. Reach, reach, reach. Keep squeezing. We're moving into multi-directions. So we're up already. Rotate. Bring those fists together. Set them down. Lift them up. Out. Rotate all the way around. Let's get one more of those. Up. Rotate. We're going to ignore the bell. Out. Wring out those shoulders and set them back down. Okay, tough position here. Heels underneath your knees, hands facing away, external, hips up a little bit. Trying to stay as centered as you can. Maybe grab a focal point. Using your core, pushing down through the ground. Then if you can, you're gonna lift and hold. If not, repeating. Feeling a nice stretch through the front of those shoulders, opening up those hips. Otherwise, we're holding. We're freezing, we're driving up. And then we're in multi-direction. Reach over, come on down, press up, reach over, come on down. Let's get one more per side. Up, over, and down. Last one. Up, over, and down. So hopefully you got a little more range of motion as we moved along here. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna come into that frog. So get yourself in that position. Knees as wide as you feel comfortable. Then you're gonna rock your hips back. You can come onto the forearms. And then we're just gonna settle into that for 40 seconds. Take a nice deep breath. Should feel the adductors, so those inner thighs. Hopefully you have something comfortable for your knees. You can always be up or put some pillows underneath your forearms if it's too aggressive for you. So hanging out, trying to maintain that angle. One more round of 20 seconds. Let your body melt into the floor a little bit more. Let some of that tension release. We're gonna move in a different direction. We're internally rotating the hip, lifting that foot off the floor, if possible. It's okay if it doesn't move. exhale as you do so. One might be a little stronger than the other. Excellent. Come on out of that however you see fit. Stop that timer. Excellent. Thank you for joining me this morning. I feel a lot better now that I moved, even though it was a little bit of a struggle to get up after a lot of hard outdoor work yesterday, but certainly felt good. So shoot me a comment, let me know what you'd like to see more of, and I'll see you sometime next week. But until then, I think we have Strength with Mats at noon. Have a great day, everybody.